Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Millie, and today I'm going to be creating 4 looks with the Ace Beaute Oceanic palette. And then as always, at the end of the video I will be giving my thoughts on this palette and my experience with it. So if you're interested to see the looks that I create, please keep watching. So for the first look, I primed my lids with the P. Louise base in shade 2. And I'm first going in with Bali. And I'm blending that out in circular motions. This is a very beautiful pastel tone matte. And then next I'm going in with Blue Clam. And I'm packing that on the inner corner and on the outer edge. So I'm going to be doing a halo eye. And this already applied pretty patchy, and I tried to blend it out and it just got patchier, so I kept building up on it. It's just something about this formula when I use it is the moment I try to go and blend it out, it just goes patchy. So next I'm going in with the Fiorine Pixie Epoxy in the center of my lid as a base for the shimmer. For the shimmer, I'm going in with Bora Bora. This is a really beautiful, beautiful shimmer. I had a little bit of trouble of feathering out those edges because this formula is so waxy and thick. It doesn't quite just smooth out. And then I went back in with Blue Clam, and I just tried to fix the patchiness. So I went in with my finger and I packed it on with my finger instead. And I'm just going in with Blue Clam on my lower lash line to connect the outer corner. And then for the inner corner, I went in with the Rake from the Dear Katie Brown Haunted palette. And then I also decided to go in with Bali under my lower lash line. And then I'm lining my waterline with the Melt Cosmetics eyeliner in Montauk. And then I put on the Cara Beauty lashes in number 54. And this is the first finished look already. Not a great start for me, but this is exactly what I was expecting to happen with this formula. So for the second look, I'm again going in with the P. Louise base, but I'm going to be lightly setting it just to see if that makes a difference. Maybe it's just this formula doesn't like the tackiness. I'm also going to start out with the deepest shade first because I know that's something that people recommend with this formula. So I'm going in with Turtle, and I'm putting it on the outer lid and the crease and just blending it out. And that immediately got patchy on me once I started blending it out. I don't know what it is about that area of my eye. It's this like eyeshadow just doesn't want to stick there for me. So then I try to pack on a little bit more and just really gently blend out the edges so that I wouldn't cause any more patchiness. Next I went in with Seagrass in the center, and I just kind of blended that in with the deep green. And then on the inner lid I went in with Algae, again just blending that out into the crease. And to fix the patchiness, I went in with my finger. I'm going in with Turtle under the lower lash line and connecting it with the outer crease. And then for the inner corner highlight, I actually went in with Mykonos. For the waterline, I'm using the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in Electric Daisy. I put on the Cara Beauty lashes in style 105. And so this is a second finished look. As you can see, there's that weird patch in my outer crease lid area, and I tried fixing it, but it was just not having it. For the third look, I'm going in with Fiji in the crease, and this time I primed with the Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer, and I lightly did just go over it with a translucent powder just to see, just trying out different primers, different techniques, trying to see if I can make this formula work for me. And then with my finger, I'm going in with Mykonos all over the lid. It definitely doesn't feel like a smooth, buttery shimmer. It's a more waxy formula. So just really swiping that on. And then I'm going to create an eyeliner with the Melt Cosmetics Gel Liner in Santos, which mini review on this, I don't like this eyeliner. It seemed kind of sheer and I had to keep building it up, but I thought it would be nice to add a little something to this look. I'm just finishing the lower lash line with Fiji. For the inner corner highlight, I'm using Nerds from Divina Cosmetics, and I put on the Kiss Lashes in the style Muse. For the fourth and final look, I again primed with the Smashbox 24-hour primer. It seemed to have worked pretty nicely in the third look, and I'm first going in with Seaweed on the inner crease. And then on the other half of my crease, I'm going in with Seagrass. And then to deepen up the outer corner, I'm going in with Pacific, packing it on gently and softly. Not breathing, trying not to irritate the eyeshadow. It's really patting motions and then only blending out the outer edges. Then I tried putting on Anemone, and as you can see, it did not want to transfer from the brush onto my lid. It just started wiping off my eyeshadow. So I went in with my trusty Pixie Epoxy from Fairnay, just kind of mapped out where I'm going to be putting down the shimmers. And then I went back in with Anemone, and it definitely applied much better. It actually came off the brush. And I'm just putting that pretty much all over the mobile lid, because then I'm going in with Jellyfish, and I'm just kind of putting that above where I placed Anemone. But unfortunately, it created more patchiness there because of the shimmer. So I went in back with my finger and just tapped it on. To finish off the look, I'm connecting my lower lash line with Pacific. To highlight my inner corner, I'm going in with Illumination from Clionadh. And I put on the Kiss Lashes in Style Teddy. This is the fourth and finished look. I think the shimmer looks really beautiful, but it's just unfortunate really for the mattes. So those are the 4 looks that I created, and I've been playing with this palette here and there since I got it, which was during the release, so over a year ago. So I've had it for some time. I played with it here and there, and I have just very mixed feelings. I know from previous experience with Ace Beaute eyeshadow palettes that I'm not the biggest fan of the formula. I had those like Paradise palettes where they had different themes, and I have a video up with I think 3 looks with the classical Paradise palette. And basically I experienced the same issues with this palette as I did with that one and the others, which I actually don't own anymore because I just really didn't like the formula. The Blair palette came out and people were saying that the formula seems a little different, so I had my hopes up, so I have that palette as well that I will be posting 4 looks with. I decided I would give it another try, but honestly this is just not the formula for me. It's a very thin formula and it doesn't really like to build up. For me personally, it likes to blend away. It's patchy in the outer corner, and I just don't have the best experience. I definitely struggled with some of these looks, and I had to go in and use my finger, which is when I know that the formula is really not up to par for me, when I have to go and pack on with a finger. And you know, that's fine. You're not gonna like every palette and you're not gonna like every formula. I just really don't think it's necessary to have any kind of condescending commentary on people who like a eyeshadow formula, and who don't. And we just all have our preferences. I've tried multiple eyeshadow bases. I've tried setting, not setting. I've tried going in with a deeper shade first, and it's just not the formula for me. The shimmers are really nice. These ones in this palette I noticed are a bit less buttery and they're more like thick and waxy, so they're harder to swatch. When I swatched them, it was like I had to really like pull down to get the swatch. And then I experienced that a little bit with some of the shades once I applied them to the eyes. For example, I didn't feel like the waxiness translated onto the lid with like Bora Bora and Jellyfish, but then Anemone, like you saw, it just was so thick and it didn't want to come off the brush, and it started to like wipe away my eyeshadow underneath. So that's why I had to go in with my Pixie Epoxy and just get like a tacky base onto it, and then I was able to get it down. And then Mykonos I used with my finger, and it definitely feels a little thicker, but I was able to spread it out just fine with my finger. So I think the shimmers are beautiful. I just think that some of them are a little harder to work with than others. I really love the color of Bora Bora, Mykonos, and Bay. I think those shades are really beautiful tones that I don't have in my collection. And then I also love Bali and Fiji and Algae. I think those are just really beautiful colors. I think this color story is stunning. I think it's actually pretty different from the Menagerie Cosmetics Whale Song palette, but I do prefer the formula of the Whale Song palette and just Menagerie eyeshadows over the Ace Beaute for sure. So the matte formula is workable, like you can make it work. This is not something I would reach for like in the morning when I just want to get a quick look done before work. It hasn't been consistent, and even though some of these shades are really unique and beautiful, and I just know I have much better formulas in my collection. And also wanted to talk about the price. This palette is $38.99. I'm pretty sure it's $38, which I think is very expensive for this palette. In my opinion, this is a $38 palette with a $15 to $20 formula. I just think that for $38, this is way too expensive. And I know that not everybody has issues with the eyeshadows in this palette, but personally, I just think that it's not worth the $38. I think if you can snag it for $20, $25 max, then it might be worth it. But it's really up to you if you want to spend the money on this palette. And I know there's plenty of people that love this palette and love the Ace Beaute formula. But that is all for this video. I do have a playlist of a bunch of 4 looks 1 palette videos that I will leave up on the screen. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.